All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Nisemonogatari, episode 10.
Okay, there's not many episodes left in Nise, is there?
Nope. And
Yeah.
we got some new characters, which for
Yes,
being
two
so
new characters.
close to the end of a section is interesting.
Yes, very interesting.
Yeah, we've got Yotsugi
Yotsugi and Yozuru. Yeah.
Yotsuba's something different. Yeah,
we have the one who is kind of the dancer, the very physically fit, intimidating in some ways to
Right,
Karin,
yeah.
who says, "Ooh, I don't know, like about
She's
her physical
very
capacity
strong.
about fighting
Yeah.
her."
Uh-huh.
But then you have the odd one who repeats that one little line shtick, and
Right.
she's got kind of blue hair. But they're all looking for the Echo Cram School,
Right, which is where
Oshino.
our good friend Oshino was.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And they all seem to be aware of the oddities because
Yes.
they were, calling them out pretty specifically, but they called Aragi Devil Boy.
Yes, I believe that it has to do with him being, part vampire.
Probably.
Yeah. It might also be something I would be crazy if they could notice that. I don't think they did because they didn't address her directly. But they might have been even just the aura that Shinobu creates by
from
just
his shadow,
being in
yeah.
his shadow.
Yeah, totally.
They're like, we're not going to call you a vampire. We're just going to call you Devil Boy. But I'm pretty sure it's just because it's the vampire thing. Shinobu's pretty well hidden in her little pocket dimension, in his shadow.
But for the most part, the rest of the episode was just, that great conversation with Karin, and then also with Hachikuji. With a timely interruption from Shinobu, which was wonderful.
Yes.
But as for what they'll get into now,
Yeah.
maybe more stuff with these new characters.
Maybe they'll follow them to the cram school.
Maybe Tsukihi will finally get some attention, and stop being ignored.
Yeah, I could definitely Tsukihi now starting to get that focus here.
You could definitely see Tsukihi. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Although I just had got to say, the more and more conversations we have with Hachikuji involved in the show, the more and more I come to appreciate her character.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
In some ways, in terms of the banter above all the others, there's this just I don't know, just this perfection to it.
Because it's a very different kind of banter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, Monogatari, y'all. Let's get into it. All right, everyone. We're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. The cicadas. Oh. That little tumble.
Yeah.
Drastic action. Nice shot. Oh, classic music. Every donut, Jacob, for 100 yen. No.
Yes.
You're
Maybe you need a big hat or something.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The sun is my enemy. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So get donuts for Shinobu.
Okay.
Oh,
and again, I wore the wrong shirt. I think I have this down to a science that I always wear the wrong Monogatari shirt, whether it's Shinobu or yeah. Well, this will be good. And again, focusing on a character that is not Tsukihi.
Hey, here's the thing. When you're patron to a great old one, sometimes they make demands.
Shinobu's not a great old one. I mean, she's
she's an archfey.
But
she's an archfey.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be interesting. Having a patron be a vampire.
Right. You could totally do it.
Oh, yeah.
It would have to be an elder, a very, very powerful vampire that doesn't require that you become a vampire in some ways in order to actually, You know.
This opening is so cheerful, but like, and the heads being gone.
Yep.
I'm really
and the
interested to see
different versions of her.
right.
You know?
Like when they finally do give Tsukihi focus, I'm really excited to see how they do it.
I mean, it's Tsukihi Part 3, so
Yeah.
Oh, here she is.
Oh.
Her hair is different.
That is definitely true.
Okay.
Feeling
You haven't
ignored.
spent much time with a lot of people lately. Ah, you could say you were a fake all along. Oh.
Yeah.
We're back where we started. We're in the set piece here. We're showing all these art pieces again. Oh, that is like yogurt or ice cream or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like
I thought it was
makeup.
a hair product or something.
Yeah.
Why is that?
So she's again depending on someone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is. Does that be because that's what you need? That was amazing.
Oh, really? Yeah. Spend some time with us.
I'll invite lots of middle school girls, aka Nautico. You know?
Oh. Shinobu's like, you've been keeping me waiting.
Right.
What? Oh. New oddity.
In some ways, this is a new form of her, Tsukihi Phoenix.
Right, she's been reborn. Yeah, they would. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Wait, was that?
Yeah.
C'est incroyable. That hat is amazing, though.
Yeah.
And the mirror named Tofu Donut in Dice. Unforgivable, indeed.
Yes.
She's gonna get golden chocolate in the end. Yes, yes.
But they're only 100 yen. Ah.
Clearly, yes. You can get in
doing this like a film noir.
Right.
Oh, Western. Okay.
Draw, yeah. They've got their hands ready to draw, basically. This compromise is suitable. This music. There's a couple people I know who have Shinobu's like just love for donuts, and it's hilarious to see them like go to a donut store. It's amazing. Yes. In order for her to talk. Okay. Cool. Gotcha. Oh. Ah!
Ah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Fascinating, yeah. Ha! That will require 5 more donuts, please.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Is Oshino just right there?
No way. It's Kaiki! Ah! Yes!
That's great.
Because this is an economic way to spend money.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes! He's gonna mention the economics of it. Oh, yes. Yes. And his theme is so tired and old.
And I love how the one that looks like the vampire is there with the actual vampire.
Right. All I can afford is 100 yen donuts now. Yep, there you go. Shinobu might not be cheap, but he is.
Well, Shinobu might take issue with, like, that could have bought so many donuts.
He took his whole wallet.
Yeah, there's other stuff he needs in there besides the money.
Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So they'd be up there with Oshino. But specifically Exorcist. Okay. Oh, like the... Cool.
Okay. Cool. Oh.
That's why they called him Devil Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenixes are immortal. In a form.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh. But strict definitions aside.
All the same car driving past?
Yep. That's a clever way to have him kind of recap. Housing. Yeah, just make contact and ask them. Oh, and they're here.
All right.
Oh, crap. Oh, good. Aragi's here.
Shinobu's just sitting there.
Yeah. Oh, we came to thank you. Could you stop ringing my doorbell too? It's getting annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not after you.
We're here for your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, they know the full name.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh! Oof! That was some fire! Yep. I love how...
With the hat tipped down,
Yep.
like she's in a Western.
Right. Yes, why are they here?
Uh-huh. She's got an awl or a screwdriver or something.
Ah!
Oh boy. Ah!
Oh, dang. Yep. Dang. Yeah, she's gonna come back to life. Yep. More hair now.
The evil Phoenix. Huh.
Like, what? Oh. I kinda believe her, too.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Gotcha.
I could eat her. Yeah. Let's do this later.
Leave it to vampires to have that high charisma score.
Right, right. So we'll be back to abduct her later.
Wait, are you saying she's not related by blood?
Probably, yeah.
Cool.
Oh! Make this entertaining for us.
Okay, that's
Wow.
cool. That's cool.
That's awesome.
Okay. Wait, like the entire time or just recently?
Yeah. I think it's more that there was a Tsukihi, but this is not Tsukihi.
Well, and they could also potentially not have all the information.
Accurate, yes.
Because they said before that, like, oh, apparently our information had some gaps.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay.
All right.
Well, we're at the
Tsukihi part.
focus,
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
They need to set up a couple moving parts, and they needed to clear up a couple things relationship-wise with regards to Karin and Araragi. But I wonder if what they're going to reveal is that we should have noticed when she switched.
Oh.
Like, that would be kind of cool. If they're like, didn't you notice right here? That was when she basically stopped being...
Probably.
Because Karin had her whole thing, the encounter with Kaiki. And that was the whole oddity switch, and we noticed the clear change there, obviously, because they were focusing on it. But Tsukihi's whole thing is being ignored. Right. So, was that part of her whole thing in that...
Right. If only Araragi had paid closer attention,
yes.
You know, then he could have,
Right,
Yep.
and then that might be the point with us, is that we as the audience weren't paying attention either because Araragi wasn't. So there's no way we could have noticed, or maybe there was a way we could have noticed.
The scar, that's probably the clue.
Well, that's a recent thing. That's a super recent
but it was brought up recently. But I'll bet you that if you look back at like the earlier scenes of Tsuki, there would have been a point where the scar went away.
Sure. Okay. I like it. Five Sisters. Yeah. Oh, it's Araragi.
Okay. Because Tsuki's not here.
Yeah.
Yes! Oh my
yes!
God.
Definitely! Uh-huh.
For Tsukihi Phoenix.
Right.
Oh, Sengoku.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh. The last one.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
So, she is possessed by an immortal firebird, evil phoenix thing, which is maybe something said in such a way to give just to their, a justice to their cause.
Right. It could be as straightforward as what they're saying, but because they also established the idea that they might not have all the information, and clearly they have a particular objective, that they could potentially be only showing some of the truth. Right.
And the idea that they kind of just walked up and just blew the top half of, her off with that unlimited rule book, unlimited rule works, I like the idea of us now getting into a spells encounter with some kind of, exorcist magic users or what have you. And that just sounds fun. That just sounds awesome.
That'll be great.
But here's the thing. Are they implying that Tsukihi was always, because you brought this up, was always the Phoenix? Or what I think they're more implying is that there was a point, and we could have noticed it, where she switched, where she was possessed by the...
I'm not sure which one they're implying, because I feel like they could, like... They
don't care, really.
Yeah, either they don't care, or but from what they were communicating, it made me think that they were talking about it being like way in the past, either that he never had a sister actually,
right,
or that it was just way long in the past. Okay. But because again they they didn't say specifically, and also they could have misinformation.
Yeah, we can't take everything they're saying as truth necessarily.
Right. Because in some ways, this is still the impostery, right? It's something where there's all these fakes around, and there's probably some aspect where they're fakes as well.
Sure.
Like, and granted, so far, they don't seem to be that, right? They seem to be very forthright, and
that's all completely what they are.
Uh-huh.
So we have Kaiki and Shinobu getting some focus early in the episode here. I love that Shinobu is basically on a donut quest.
Yep.
But the idea that her donut quest was something that distracted Araragi from taking further action on noticing the whole aspect of her scars being gone.
Oh,
so that's probably the reason why it's not only in here as a part to remind us that Shinobu is going to be important in this episode, but she's also just important in the story overall. But it was a thing of where, if Araragi wasn't good at paying attention and also didn't have his, his sister, kind of complex.
However that works, right? The lack of worry with doing all the fan servicey stuff, you know, of carrying his sister's clothes off and whatnot.
And you could go with the he's terrified thing, but he did cop a feel, so he's got his own issues. But the thing is that he didn't follow up on that, and it wasn't just because
he copped a feel, and suddenly Tsukihi's like, all right, get out of here.
Well, obviously Tsukihi wanted him to leave and being like, you don't have a home to come back to. You're not
but
my
if she's
brother,
a phoenix, then that could also be something where it was something of I've been discovered, you know.
Yeah, I don't want him to, you know, notice that.
Right.
So we're going to try and forget that this whole thing happened. Now, every oddity that's been introduced in the show thus far, Araragi has taken great efforts, gone to great lengths to make sure that they can get help, essentially.
Yeah.
But almost every single time, some part of it is something that they have to kind of
deal with themselves.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. If they're insinuating that she's possessed, does she have autonomy? Because it does seem like Tsukihi's personality has been pretty consistent throughout the Nisei kind of section here. So
and even with what little we saw from her before. And the flashbacks and, you know, talking about like past behavior and whatnot.
Right.
So either the Phoenix is really good at what it's doing,
sure,
or potentially it lies dormant. Yep. You know,
or it's just helping her, and she's basically
any
being
mixture of the above. You know.
Yeah. I think that just gives us our whole way to solve this problem, is that we need to get the Phoenix out. And then give them basically hey, go chase the Phoenix. It went that way, you know?
Sure.
It's not here in my sister, as you can clearly see.
I'd be curious to see if they went for the angle that the Phoenix had been in her for a very long time, and her violent tendencies are actually because of the Phoenix.
Sure.
But no, because that was why she ended up getting the scars. But the scars are gone now, so that means that she probably didn't have the Phoenix back then.
Gotcha.
But then at the same time, okay, here's something crazy. Now, they might not do this, but we saw her regenerate here, or we saw the aftermath of her regenerating, right? So the scars are gone.
Yeah.
That makes me think that potentially there was like suicide or something, or there was something that happened that basically caused Tsukihi to need to regenerate a new body. It could be something as simple as when the Phoenix possessed her for the first time, it regenerated a new body or something like that. And and that's the fake aspect, right?
Right.
This isn't your real sister kind of a thing.
But why did she have scars in the first place? It was things that the doctor said that she would just always have, though.
Well, the scars in the first place could just be a thing of that was before she got possessed by the Phoenix, right?
I would say almost definitely.
Right, exactly. But if it's not something where the Phoenix just caused her to take on a new body when it possessed her, that makes me think that there's potentially, and I could totally be wrong here, but that makes me wonder if there's potentially something else there, because she has been feeling very ignored, both from Karin, and Karin was like the one person that she always had with her, right? Yeah. So,
well, almost every oddity situation with their host or their human being, their person that's dealing with the oddity situation has some kind of mental health kind of issue going on, like some kind of thing internally within their psyche that's broken and or kind of stressed. I would say,
because it's a manifestation of the inner problems and struggles that they have. That is why the oddity is there,
right? And in some ways, let's think about the nature of an immortal Firebird Phoenix thing that would be helpful, and we look at it through that lens specifically for Tsukihi. And I would say one of the primary things that you basically would look at that is the I can't get hurt.
Sure.
And or my hurt doesn't reside within me for very long. I can get rid of it really quickly.
And I could definitely see it being something where Tsukihi would have trouble basically dealing with hurt.
Right.
And maybe her violent tendencies is because of that, is because she doesn't have a way to properly
She's just expressing it out.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You know, kind of in a vague way, kind of like in the idea of the whole vague concept of justice.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the whole idea of Well, yeah, no, I think that pretty much sums up what I was going to say, because the whole idea of a phoenix, like there's other mythical, ideas and stuff that are, tied into phoenixes and stuff.
Definitely.
But the main one is that they are birthed from the ashes of their own defeat, right?
Yep.
Of their death. So that's not something that I would have expected for Tsukihi before it got to the Tsukihi Phoenix.
Yeah, and it literally told us in the title.
Right.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense given how Tsukihi is, and maybe I'm like zeroing in too much on like the self-destructive aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
but oftentimes phoenixes would burn up from the inside. They would just they would just die. Right.
Well, that was when they would just essentially grow old.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they would be rebirthed from the ashes of their carcass.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know how literal or not they're wanting to take that here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did mention it as a possession, which has very particular connotations to it.
Here's a thought. What if the Phoenix thing is really recent?
Okay.
It's really recent.
All right.
And part of Tsukihi's whole not being as interested in being a part of the Fire Sisters has something to do with this.
Right. Or the lack of interest in being a part of the Fire Sisters is maybe what allowed the Phoenix to inhabit her or something.
Or if we look back at when Karin got her situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is really random, but she got a fever.
Yeah.
And clarify with me if I'm wrong, but that was Karin who got the fever, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we know what that whole thing was about.
Right.
But maybe it was at that moment when things started to basically split the Araragi family a little bit more than normal. And because we began the whole kind of Nisei kind of setup, I would say really focused on Tsukihi, and she was in that spot where it looked like basically a showroom set, like a TV. TV set, basically.
Like she was just sort of on display. Yeah.
It's basically the thing of take in everything here that you're seeing, pay attention to this. It's basically
so
like
that was probably before the Phoenix.
Phoenix,
which is a great point, because that was our main real focus that we got with Tsukihi in Nisei up until now, really. Like there were other times, but it was very much like her being in conversations with other people or something.
And Araragi the perv is obviously going to be paying attention to every inch of her body and everything, stuff like that. So
but the thing is that he's not paying attention in the ways that he should.
Well, there's that, but also I would say that once that ends, his entire focus shifts to all kinds of other things that are not Tsukihi.
Everyone except her.
Yeah. So it might fit almost too perfectly, then it's not actually correlating to that, and that the Firebird has been in her for a long time.
Until we see otherwise, I very much buy into that headcanon, because we know how Shaft loves doing the random, seemingly random or impressionistic things in the backgrounds that actually tie in very specifically to certain things in the story that you might not be aware of just yet.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting thing, because she's worn, I believe, the same outfit the entire time, which is another thing that I'm not 100% sure on that.
Mm-hmm.
But
definitely the same style if it's not the same outfit.
Yeah, because here's a thought. That's basically saying that she's just stayed at home all this time.
Potentially.
And Araragi probably is usually at home, because he seems like the type of person who...
Or maybe before all this craziness happened, he used to spend all his time at home.
Yeah. And now she's just like, oh, well, he's gone, so... Bummer.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how the final conversation goes between Araragi and Tsukihi, assuming that they're able to have that fully vulnerable conversation like we've had with Araragi and Karin, because like Karin, I didn't see as quite being the fake nearly as much as Tsukihi. Like there were the ways where she was, definitely, but with Tsukihi it's like blaring fake,
Yeah.
you know, everywhere. So
yeah, so it made it kind of a good twist when we got all this Karin focus, and we're like,
Right,
well, wait,
exactly.
isn't Tsukihi like one
is
of the
it,
bigger
she's supposed to be the
fakes?
fake, and then it's like, okay, you know, no, there's fakes all around, but
Yes.
but the way they do it, where we finally actually meet the real Tsukihi, you know, whether that's literally meeting the real Tsukihi for the first time,
Sure.
or just metaphorically meeting the real Tsukihi for the first time,
yeah,
I'm really excited to see how that goes.
this is also another thing that's kind of interesting is that with bringing up the whole things of the two new characters, Yotsugi and Yozuru. Now that specifically they mentioned the whole thing of one being the familiar Yotsugi. So in some ways, Yotsugi isn't the name. That's more of the spell that binds her to Yozuru. So like the way the names were kind of
Or something.
done in that specific way, because they tied that whole thing with the Oshino Shinobu thing, and I thought that was hilarious and stuff, because I kind of understand that, even though I don't know Japanese, but it's
right.
kind of,
but even
it's
then,
kind of
like
cool.
Yotsugi and Yozuru, it's like that, like it's not like it's similar, but it's not. So it's not exactly the same as it was with Oshino.
Right, but then you take it the Kaganui part as well, and there was some connection there as well. But basically, all I'm saying is that they are kind of we are a more aggressive, antagonistic form of Oshino coming in here, but we also have our kind of familiar master situation, and then Shinobu has kind of this familiar master situation with Araragi. Mm-hmm. So what I think they're kind
but she's not the familiar, as she made sure that he knew.
Very clearly, but what I think they're building up here is this is a way that Araragi can become the new Oshino. He is slowly but surely, over the course of time, he is becoming kind of that role for this area. In a lot of ways, he kind of has to be, because he's the main character.
And Oshino's gone. So.
Well, Oshino is gone, but the idea that they would bring in what we thought might be maybe another Oshino kind of setup. No, this is very clearly an antagonistic Oshino kind of setup. So it basically diametrically opposes them. It puts them in conflict with each other, not over just the idea of what's going on with Tsukihi, but the idea that they're mirrored. Like, they're literally kind of mirrored in a way. And I find that to be fascinating, because obviously Araragi is going to go the distance in the story. These two characters don't necessarily have to.
Right. Although I get the feeling they're going to be sort of adopted into the main cast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even if they go away for a while or whatever, like I don't think they're just going to be sort of written off. Like in the same way.
Oh, no, I don't mean written off entirely.
No, right. But like even with Kaiki, like they could have had Kaiki just be in that arc, that he was in, and then he's gone, right? But we got to see him here. I love that insight of the whole. Oh, he's there because it's the 100 yen donut sale, and he's economical. I love that.
Yeah, that was amazing. Every time Kaiki shows up, I get the same kind of feeling I get when Hachikuji shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Because when Hachikuji shows up, you know exactly what kind of conversation it's going to be, even though you don't know what they're actually going to talk about.
Yes.
So with Kaiki, I know exactly what style of conversation it's going to be. But the thing is, I know even less, because I've spent less time with him, what he's going to talk about.
Right.
So,
especially since that his part where he's sort of like plot relevant in a way is done, so now it's just interacting with Kaiki,
right? And that's what I think these two girls will be, is that in some ways they're going to be a lot less plot relevant once we get the Tsukihi situation solved, but they will be out there in the same way that Kaiki is out there. Yeah. I would say this episode is basically like the perfect setup episode for a dramatic finale, and they did seem to insinuate in the little Fire Sisters end bit there that this is the last one. Yeah. Or it's the last one maybe focused on Tsukihi, and maybe we'll get some Araragi focus as the king of fakes. Just possibly. Just saying.
I mean, we've kind of been getting focus
on him
throughout, especially because it's
hard
his
not
sisters.
To,
and while Oh, okay. So
MC.
one of the things that they brought up with the whole thing of the relationship being strained between Tsukihi and Karen is the idea that it might not actually be about Tsukihi and Araragi fixing their relationship, even though I think that definitely needs to happen, and I'm excited to see it. But that it could theoretically be fixing the relationship between Tsukihi and Karen, which would be very interesting and a different spin on things. And then that could leave it open for like later if they wanted to like revisit Tsukihi and deal with her relationship with Araragi. But but that's something that I really like because it's a twist. It reminds me of like the Kanbaru situation where it was more about things with Senjugahara had to be resolved, right? And Araragi was just kind of there.
The ultimate way that they will solve this whole thing is as the Araragis come together as a family unit.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways, what caused a lot of the conflict, I would say, in this arc is that the family unit was disassembled a bit. It was a bit disconnected. And
you might say that Araragi was kind of the anchor, and then because he ended up getting removed, then they latched on each other.
Yeah, Karen maybe. Well, I think they might have always been the Fire Sisters thing since
I
earlier.
think so, yeah.
But I think what they're also just saying in this immediate bit is that Karen might have come to him for the whole help with the Kaiki, kind of the stuff that she ended up turning to Kaiki. But this whole bit was here. Now, on a meta big picture side of things, is there a possibility that, the whole thing with Nadeko?
Yeah.
She was brought up this episode just via my silly little
the whole thing of the lots of middle school girls will be there or whatever.
And I'm mostly just poking fun at the idea that
but she is good friends with Tsukihi, so
she is exactly. But remember how there was that rebound essentially on the original curse on Nadeko, and then it ended up creating this whole thing where Kaiki got involved. Does that mean that this oddity maybe came to Tsukihi because of that whole thing circulating around in the school? Are we getting a multi-arc narrative slowly built up where there's oddities being kind of rebounded out with a chaotic kind of causal relationship between kids in this thing because of how Araragi didn't handle Nadeko's situation perfectly?
Well, I don't know if it's because of that, but I would say the idea of having echoing effects and sort of bouncing around, I totally get that because, if you think about it, it just makes sense because since the oddities are a manifestation of the problems that people have within themselves, we interact with people and we rub off on people and all that sort of stuff happens, right?
Right.
So I totally could see it being something where because of the interactions between people, they basically, it's the pool balls that all sort of clack against each other, right? And it causes more stuff to happen.
Yeah.
And there might have, and who knows, maybe the thing with Nadeko was the cue ball that came in and struck the rest of them, but regardless of what, if they go into that and how much they go into that, and if they do, what it ends up being the catalyst for it and everything.
Right.
I definitely am on board with the idea of the characters affecting each other and
in
the oddity
subtle
situations.
Ways that have long-reaching consequences. Yes, that is good
That's
writing in
interaction,
general. Yes.
Yeah, they can they don't just have to interact with Araragi.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the idea that those kinds of things happening in the background is becoming more and more of a thing in this section of the story, specifically with what happened between Senjugahara and Hanakawa.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great example.
I think more of that just being something that's out there is something that I'm becoming just more and more aware of when I look at the story from a full sense. I think it'd be a wrong way to look at it from a linear sense because we watched Kizu and it kind of threw off my linear internal
but I think that
thing there
totally worked too.
But I think that I think that there's some kind of connecting bit and there are characters that we haven't gotten big focus on in this section of the story. We did get actually a Nadeko
We did
half-centric episode a while ago.
But yeah, it's like the stuff with Hanakawa and Senjugahara. We've gotten plenty of focus with Senjugahara,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
the stuff with Hanakawa and Senjugahara, when we started Nisei, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be some big thing for, you know, Nisei because they're introducing it at the beginning, right?
But they had the whole Fire Sisters thing.
Right, they had
like,
the whole Fire Sisters
gotcha.
thing, and they haven't really, like, they've touched on it and made sure that we were aware that that's still ongoing.
Yeah,
but
the
they
Hanakawa
didn't.
stuff,
But they
you mean.
didn't resolve it in,
Right.
you know, so far. And I'm guessing if the next episode is the last episode of Nisei, then they're probably not going to in Nisei. Maybe that's what the next part's about. I don't know. But it's seeding that stuff for future, you know, arcs, events,
Okay.
all that.
Okay. Well then, yeah, that's this episode. Then
Yep.
we've got a showdown coming up here.
Mhm.
A practical Western, like, you
Yeah,
know,
they
hold your
even
guns out.
did
They
the
even,
Western thing.
they even foreshadowed it at the donut shop with like.
Which okay. Can I just say all the Shinobu that we got this episode was absolutely
It was delightful.
fantastic. It was delightful.
Yeah.
It made me want donuts. Like the whole thing of, you know, them.
Now I want donuts.
Yeah.
too. Wow.
And being
just
like
saying I want donuts. I'm like,
and the way
oh,
way
yeah.
that Shinobu starts the whole thing being like, there's a very important problem, like, you know, and it's like, oh, like, because Shinobu's kind of been like the Oshino equivalent for Araragi since she's so knowledgeable and old and all that stuff. So it's like, oh,
Sure.
is this where we're gonna find out about like the oddity, you know, and stuff and things like that? And it's like, it requires immediate attention. The Mr. Donuts, you know, is having a sale for 100 yen for all their for any donut in the shop, and it's like, oh, of course, yeah. But then it's like, no, this is a serious thing, and him being like, do you want me to just get you a golden chocolate?
No, I must go there.
Right.
And that is actually one of the things. Like, when you go to a donut shop, half of the fun is looking at all the donuts you have available, and half of the pain is not you after eating the donuts being like, oh, that was a mistake. It is looking at all the donuts and realizing I can only get a few of them.
Yep.
Like, oh.
Well, and also the whole thing of the time thing is a very real deal because like there's a donut shop that is like a favorite of ours that they'll like the place opens at like 4 or something.
Yep.
And they'll have
And
their set
close
they'll close
early.
at like 3. But the thing is that the actual donuts, like, they basically just go
all
until
the
they run
good
out of
donuts
donuts.
are gone way before 3.
All the good donuts are gone way before 3. You need to
Yep.
get there before like 11 at the earliest, and a lot of times you need to like, you know, like basically send in a text message being like, okay, you know, please make this many like donuts of this type extra, you know, and keep them on standby, kind of a thing.
Oh my gosh.
So I was almost worried for a bit that like the conversation with Tsukihi would make it so that they get there and Shinobu would just be like, they're gone. Like
she's like, Master,
there's
sorry.
only one
You're the one
golden
that's going to have
chocolate
to
left.
suffer for this.
You know, yeah.
And he's just like, I understand. and she like basically like tells him like her story again, like in full detail, like when he's trying to sleep. Like that's her way of torturing him.
I
or
would not have
something.
been surprised if she basically just like when he's talking with Kaiki just decided, whatever, disappear into his shadow and then try and like sneak back out of his shadow to take his wallet back from Kaiki to get the money to buy more donuts because like, you know, 10 donuts, you know, okay, 1,000 yen, $10, you know, all right, yeah.
She wants to build, you know, her side of trust in this relationship
that's
as
right.
well.
And the whole thing
Shinobu
of her being
is
like,
a good little vampire,
Yes.
not vampire.
but the thing of her being like, no, think of it as a long-term investment. You know, think of the benefits
exactly.
that I could bring around. You know, if you keep me happy, right? Once a month is, you know, and him being like, yeah, I'll bring you here once a month, and it's like, that's not enough.
I also love that she's talking about this being a good investment, and Kaiki's in the back, and he hears the word investment, and he goes like, his like his ears and his like half dead looking state just kind of goes. He gets a little bit of life in him, and he's like, investment? Oh, that's not okay.
Well, and the funny thing was that when we saw Kaiki's plate, I think there was maybe one donut on there, but a lot of the other stuff wasn't donuts. And Shinobu Aragi specifically pointed out that only the donuts were on sale. So, you know, maybe Kaiki was splurging a bit. I don't know.
I think actually what it was he had donut holes. He had little donut balls, you know, little ones. So he's even cheaper than that, basically. He's like, well, you can get 100 yen for a donut, but you can also get 6 of these for 100 yen. And based on the mass equivalent size, if you put them all in a specific thing, it's about 0.0...
And you get more surface area for like the glaze or whatever.
Mass of donut, if you do it this way. Also, you get more frosting because it has a cover. See, Kaiki,
oh, man.
Kaiki knows a good investment. 100 yen donuts.
Yep. And the parts of Shinobu just sort of like lazing in like the front of like his bike, his bike
when,
basket
when they show up at the house. Yeah,
with like the hat behind her so that way it like blocks most of the sun from her and stuff like that. But then and like her just having the hat like cover her eyes and stuff, and just that was great.
Yeah, I practically thought that once she saw them all doing this thing and Araragi shut up for a second with his internal thoughts, she would just be like, yada yada does it, and then like jump out of the thing and be like, and be like, all right, do I have to handle this? Like, you guys obviously like you have some issues, but let's like do this.
That's a great way to build them up,
lives,
though. Like beyond just the holding, Yozuru on the finger, right? but the fact that Shinobu apparently probably wouldn't be able to handle them.
Yeah.
When we saw what she was able to do in Bake, even in this weakened state.
Now, was she juiced up in
Nope.
Bake? She wasn't, right?
Nope, because she did that, and then she ended up doing the energy drain on Hanekawa.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's part of it.
Or the Black Hanekawa Metal Cat,
Yeah. But like maybe that's it. Is that when she's like, "Oh, I'm going for food. Oh. Yeah, I'll empty all the reserves when I'm headed for food." Sure.
Oh boy.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. We've got episode 11 coming next. So if you want to see the reaction and discussion to that right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there, and any level support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general. You can talk with the community about them and laugh at our silly theories and all that. Or you can also talk with Jacob about his book he just published.
That's right. Segue. My sci-fi novel Battle Lines is available for order on Amazon. Link in the description. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.